A machete-wielding man hacked at a commuter on the London Underground in scenes likened to a horror movie, jurors were told. Panicked passengers toppled over each other as they fled through carriages when Ricky Morgan launched an unprovoked attack on James Porritt, the Old Bailey. Morgan, 34, was allegedly heard to tell horrified onlookers, "This is not a terror attack, I only want him." Prosecutor Grace Ong said, James Porritt and Ricky Morgan were complete strangers. This was, the prosecution say, a completely unprovoked attack on a commuter on the Jubilee line going about his daily business. On the evening of July 9 last year, Mr. Porritt, a self-employed businessman, allegedly visited a gym and was on his way to meet his girlfriend and her father in West London. The Old Bailey heard from one witness who said the attacker let out an unholy scream during the frenzy. Image. Getty Images, iStock photo. He got on a train at Westminster and was heading towards Green Park when Morgan produced the machete and lock knife from his rucksack, the court heard. In a video interview played in court, Mr. Porritt described minding his own business and being in a bubble as he sat in the carriage. He was allegedly looking at his phone and feeling nervous about the family meeting when he heard a scream. The next thing he knew was the defendant hitting him over the head, the court heard. In a video interview played in court, the victim said he was in a bubble when he was set upon. Image. Getty Images. He put his hand up to protect himself during the onslaught, the court heard. Describing the attack, he said, "I was pleading, please stop, please stop. I was in shock, it was like a horror movie. I genuinely thought he was going to kill me." He said it was so surreal to be targeted by a stranger on a rush-hour train. He just would not stop. He was relentless. He said he did not want anybody else, he just wanted me. He was fixated with me, Mr. Porritt said. He managed to get away and through a carriage door, while holding the severed parts of his hand together. Get all the latest news sent to your inbox. Sign up for the free Mirror newsletter. People were screaming but they could not hold Morgan off, he added, it was just terrifying. As well as the severe injury to his right hand, Mr. Porritt suffered bone-deep cuts to his head and shin, jurors were told. Ms. Ong said, the attack nearly severed one of the fingers on one of his hands and it means that James Porritt will never be able to use his right hand properly again. He also suffered very serious injuries, a laceration, a cut to his head that went all the way down to his skull but didn't fracture the skull. And he suffered another knife wound from that machete, a cut to his shin that went all the way down to his shin bone and fractured his shin bone. According to witnesses, passengers got up and screamed when the attacker started waving a knife around. Many tried to run away but in the panic ended up piled on the floor, the court heard. One witness said the attacker let out an unholy scream as he hit out with the machete. He was heard to say, "This is not a terrorist attack, I only want him. I don't want to kill you, I want to kill him, he was trying to kill me." Mr. Porritt told police, "It was almost like he was a predator and he was hunting and he decided that he was hunting me." Another passenger bravely tried to engage with Morgan and told him to calm down, the court heard. Meanwhile, a doctor who happened to be on the train gave Mr. Porritt first aid, the court heard. On being confronted by police, Morgan dropped the blade, put his hands up and got on the floor, jurors heard. He allegedly told officers it was a road issue, not a terrorist attack, adding, "If I had known it would cause this much drama I would not have done." Ms. Ong told jurors the defendant denied responsibility for the attack by reason of insanity. He was to tell a psychiatrist he had been carrying the machete and lock knife around for some time, Ms. Ong said. He also had an almost empty bottle of vodka in his rucksack, the court heard. Morgan, of no fixed address, denies attempted murder and possessing a machete and lock knife at Green Park on July 9 last year. The Old Bailey trial continues.